Lijiang Tower. Initiating match.
Welcome everyone to some Overwatch action. It's been a while since we've given you guys an Overwatch match here on the YouTube. I'm your host, as always, JJ, and I am very excited to give you guys some Overwatch action. We've got a quarterfinals match for you today between our Lakeshore Blue team here at GVSU going up against Friars Esports over at Providence. These two teams have clashed in a lot of different sports this past season. I know they've played each other a lot in Valorant, as well as I want to say they played each other in a regular season. But playoff implications on the line as we get started with Lijiang Tower. It looks like both sides running a Lucio Reinhardt Symmetra comp. Grand Valley have the Cassidy as opposed to Swampy on that May. There's the teleport from both teams. Wall goes up for Swampy now, and they're going to start to duel. Texan gets pinned by HBJO, and a lot of damage coming out. The Mortality Matrix burned out now, and Young Inward's going to find the opening pick onto HBJO, so Reinhardt down, and this is going to decrease the amount of staying power that Friars have. Young Inward with another follow-up pick. Swampy gets downed by the Shatter, which came out really early there from Texan, but because of it, they're able to win the fight and take first cap of the point. That was a big Shatter there. Good engage. Picks come out, just a better team fight from Grand Valley, and now they're going to try and look to play around this choke, which is going to be a tough ask with this Symmetra. That's a lot of shield break and a lot of chokehold. Looks like they had somebody isolated off the side, maybe Parasite, but he's being able to rotate out. No, the Immortality Matrix from Dotori. Doesn't look like it's found quite any picks yet. Andreas with the Immortality field of his own. There it goes. The wall goes up. He's able to jump right over it. Texan with another Shatter. Finds a bunch of picks. And Young Inward with the Photon Barrier is going to be able to clean this up. HBJO does win the Reinhardt battle, but Inks with another pick. And that's the Shatter from HBJO, but he goes down to Andreas. Swampy and Rudy both finding a pick. DPS putting in some work, but Flabby Face and Andreas still alive. And they've got tank power. Ares got demeched. Flabby Face didn't. And that's going to be another team fight win for Grand Valley as they go up to 54 on that point progress. And look at this ult economy. Swampy with the Blizzard. Ares not quite to his self-destruct, but Flabby Face has his Inks with the Deadeye. Parasite with the Sound Barrier. I think these are big ultimates that could swing the tide of a fight. A lot of damage coming out now from Ares. Almost with that self-destruct, but Inks is going to pop the Deadeye around this corner. That's the Photon Barrier from Woody. This is going to make the Deadeye pretty much worthless. That's going to be the self-destruct from Flabby Face. Not going to be able to find anything. Blizzard now from Swampy. Taking down the Immortality field. Texan goes down. Andreas with a good pick there on it to Swampy. With a lot of picks coming out now. Andreas still alive on point, but it's just him. So he looks like he's going to try and stall up to 99. And he is. And now Friars finally win a team fight. Look at all the ultimates they have. 2 support ultimates, self-destruct, almost a Shatter. Pretty similar ults on the side of Grand Valley. Both support ultimates. And a Shatter as well. Ares has the self-destruct. Could turn the tides of this fight. Andreas trying to get a good Immortality field for the open. And they've got to enter the pick onto Dotori, but Texan goes down. That's a shutdown self-destruct from Ares. That's going to be the barrier early from Hakim. Dotori popping the Matrix as well. A lot of picks coming out now. And Grand Valley finding the Baby Diva. That's going to be a big pick. No more tank presence. They're going to try and take this point with Texan still alive. Shatter comes through. Doesn't find anything, but that's the Shatter from HBJO. Looks like it found a few members as well. Andreas gets a pick onto Woody. Texan falls off the edge. Flabby Face with the remake, and this is just more point progress for Friars. Ooh, good picks. Swampy getting a pick with the Blizzard. Andreas gets frozen. Flabby Face almost gets booped off. Parasite still alive on site, getting a lot of damage in. HBO down. And I think Grand Valley have this if they want to try and re-engage, and they are. Tanks coming back in. Now Woody goes down. Last one alive is Hakim, and now they're going to try and flip this point, but the Staggers come in. Swampy alive now on the site. HBJO as well makes it back with that Synth Teleporter, but there's the picks you need for Grand Valley. And after a very long and chaotic team fight, the Staggers from Friars are going to start to be a little less solid and a little more staggering, and that's going to be 99 pushing overtime. That's a big double boop there from Parasite. Self-destruct, Young Edward with 2, and that is going to be the first point for Grand Valley. They're going to take Lijiang Night Market. Wow, that was a long engage and a long team fight, but they got it in the end. Honestly, the big thing there, the support. The Batiste of Andreas and the Lucio of Parasite were able to stay on the point. That was huge, and that gave Texan and Flabbyface the stagger. They were able to get back in the fight, and then as they came back to the DPS, Inks and Young Edward able to find the tanks, and then, you know, obviously with no tank diff, that's going to be a big, you know, that's not as much staying power. Grand Valley were able to turn it. Let's see how Gardens go. It's going to be our second point now. We're going to see the dive from either side. Mirror comps. So no more Symmetra, which is something we see a lot, but Parasite falling off early. That's not what you want to see. Now they're in a 5v6 early. That's a hack onto Young Inward. Able to stay alive. Not by much. Inks dangerously though. He's going to have to retreat now, as he's going to be swung in the corner by Dotori. Would he find the pick on Andreas on the back line? Now Inks goes down. And that's going to be picks coming for Friars, and they're going to be able to keep the point first. That would even really a team engage. That was just Friars playing around picks well, and it worked, and they were able to take first point. Going to start a dive now on the corner. Not quite dying to the boop there of Dotori. Oh my gosh, look at how close Hakeem is to this Coalescence. He's got it now, and there he's going to pop it. This is going to get a lot of damage and a lot of healing down Ares, finding a pick onto Inks. Texan with the Primal, gets hacked though, so not quite able to use it yet. Good hack by Swampy. Swampy with a lot of damage and an EMP, but Dotori falls off the edge, and now we're going to see the Coalescence from Andreas. This is going to give them the engage they need. Texan popped to the Primal, was able to find a pick on a Woody. And now they've got sight. There's a kill with the Primal. HBJO goes down. Last one to say it's Diva. He's just going to try and solve for time. It's Ares. And now it goes down. Swampy is still alive, but I think he's going to try and get out. Yeah. So despite the 55% now for Friars, good job to Grand Valley on that team fight. Big entry with the Coalescence and the Primal. Look at this ult disparity. A lot of ults coming up now for Friars. But at the moment, Grand Valley has more ultimates. That's going to be a big ult from Swampy. Good EMP. Oh, but there's a bigger ult from Inks with that 6-man EMP. That's nuts. Self-destruct from Flabbyface goes down, gets to Tori, but all the picks for Friars are coming through. Flabbyface found one self-destruct kill, but that was it. And now Hakeem's got the kill and has another Coalescence. Despite the 6-man EMP from Inks, no picks came off the back of it. And Hakeem were able to trade it out. Both sides still with the Death Blossom. Parasite with the Sound Barrier. Dotori with his as well. Could potentially cancel out both Death Blossoms with Swampy finding the kill on a Texan. Looks like he was hacked mid-jump. Young Nerd gonna touch this point, force people to rotate out, but Swampy, another big pick, shaking down Inks. Young Nerd's gonna get out now as the point goes to 85. Grand Valley are gonna get one more chance, most likely, to try and engage on this, but look, Swampy's got another EMP. Woody's got this the Blossom there, but that's a big EMP from Swampy, and that's a 3K Death Blossom from Woody. There's going to be the Sound Barrier, and that's going to be the team kill, and that's going to give Friars Lijiang Gardens. Wow. That's just great ult usage and great economy. Swampy having himself an absolute map and a half. Absolutely massive. Now we are getting Control Center. Series tied up 1-1, and here's going to be the switch back to Ryan. Diva Parasite on the Lucio, and Hakim is going to switch as well. Andreas on the Batiste. Both sides with the Symmetra. Swampy still taking this May. This is a good Junkrat pick from Inks. I think with the longer range Junkrat arc from as opposed to Swampy's freezing range and icicle projectile speed, I think this is a very, very passive style. Very counter dive style of brawl. That's a good wall. Close off Flabbyface. Flabbyface is frozen now, but has made himself onto the point. Look at how low a lot of members for Friars are forced to use the Immortality Field early. HBJO still dangerously low. Lot of damage traded out now, but Grand Valley have point control, and Texan 2 picks with that hammer swing right there. Keeping HBJO down. Texan with a fire strike killing a big shatter there, and that's going to be the team wipe off the back of the shatter from Texan, the man, the myth himself, Isaac Beasley. And that's going to be first point cap now for Grand Valley. That point's going to start taking up, and they're going to try and hold this choke. Look at this. Ares has already rotated around and taken an engage with Flabbyface, and that's a big Maywall from Swampy. But no kill came off of it. Flabbyface able to get out. There's going to be the M Matrix from Andreas. And it looks like Friars are going to try and rotate all the way around to Grand Valley's side of the map and force them to rotate. It looks like they're still trying to stay on that Mega. There's going to be the M Matrix from Dotori. Not finding a lot, but it does find Inks Ares with the kill. And there's the Blizzard from Swampy. Doesn't look like it caught many people, but HBJO with the pin kill onto Parasite. Picks coming through nose. HBJO is on the site and swinging his hammer around. The last one alive is Andreas, and that's going to be the fight win. But they stalled a lot of time on that Mega, trying to take the point. And allowed Grand Valley to get 50%, so a good start so far for Grand Valley. Now they're going to start to set up their defense of their own, and I think it's interesting that they're not playing in this choke. They're playing on the mini by this site, and this is going to allow Grand Valley to try and walk up, and that's going to be the Riptire from Inks. I don't think they know what's behind. They do, but he's able to get it over the top, and he's going to find the Symmetra and the Immortality Field down, and now picks are going to come through as they're able to take sight off that Riptire, and good job to Grand Valley to flip the point back, but Friars do get 36. That was just a clean finish there. Played off the back of the Riptire from Inks and really just allowed them to go in, knowing they had the Immortality Field down and the Symmetra. Speaking of the Symmetra, Woody with that Photon Barrier, you're going to pop it now. And that's a shatter from Texan that doesn't go through because he died. That's going to be the self-destruct now. Woody finds Young Inward. Andreas on the side, trying to get away from Woody. Looks like he might have gotten away and made his way back onto the point, but goes down now to Ares. But look at these ultimates. Barrier now. Parasite with the kill. Inks on the point, finding 2. And they're going to have this stall as Texan came back. Found the pin onto Hakim. Look at all these staggers. Reinhardt's not even back in the fight as the point takes closer to 100. And I don't think they've touched it in time. They haven't. And map 1 is going to be Grand Valley coming up blue. Wow. Friars not able to clean up. Parasite and Ink stayed on the point, able to find so many kills, which allowed Texan to come back. And again, that's how this ended on Night Market. Parasite with the double boot kill there is going to be the play of the game off the edge. Very well-deserved play of the game, using the environment to his benefit. And what a map that was from Grand Valley, going up early 1-0 on Lee Jong. And as we await the map 2 decision from Friars, we're going to head to a break.
Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar. Initiating match.
We're loaded back in now to Watchpoint Gibraltar for Pure Escort. It's going to be Friars map pick because they lost map 1. It was Lee Zhang Tower. Grand Valley was able to take it 2-1 off the back of Friars not being able to close out their fights. They would leave 1 or 2 alive, albeit, you know, whether it's the Lucio or the Junkrat or maybe even the Batiste, they would just leave someone alive. And they were able to stall out enough to take back the point. And that's how they were able to close out Night Market and Control Center. And this time around, it's going to be Gibraltar. We're going to see the dive from each team. But something to point out is they're running different variations. Hakim on the Brig with the Tracer Sombra as opposed to the Soldier Echo. I think something else to note is that Young Inward does not have a Mercy Pocket. And not having his absolute best game, but still playing pretty well. Not a star-studded game on the Symmetra on Lee Zhang, but it was a pretty decent performance. The carries were definitely the tanks for Grand Valley. It's going to be a big stake. Tagging Swampy early, and they're going to try and take this team fight on the bridge. Young Inward has a lot of damage in that close quarters. Able to avoid damage there. But look at this pressure that Woody's got in the back, but Young Inward with the opening pick onto Dotori. Both supports down now. Woody getting dangerously low, and they're going to have to retreat. Doesn't look like they got the D-Mech. Swampy able to teleport out, but the 2 picks there onto the supports. HBJ got staggered. Excellent job there by Flabbyface to stagger the Winston, and now they're going to have to recoup for a little bit longer. Team fight going the way of Grand Valley. Good job to the Lakers. Something you risk playing the Echo into the Sombra, getting hacked and losing most of your abilities, as most of her damage comes from her abilities. They're going to try and wrap around. Now the only one on the point is Swampy, able to teleport out. Not hitting his primary fires there onto HBJO. Texan wants to go in. He's hungry for blood. He's going to dive HBJO, but get low. The damage is starting to come in. Doesn't look like he's going to go down, though, as he's got the Nano from Parasite. He's going to engage again. Finds the pick on Woody. Had the Demon onto Ares. Young Inward finding the frag on the Baby Diva. Now with a duplicate. Texan did get slept, but did not pop the Primal. Now it's going to be another team fight win as we get closer and closer to that 2-minute halfway point of the site. Flabbyface finding the D-Mech there onto Ares in the E on the Pulse Bomb. Good job there with the defensive Matrix. And now has the kill on the Baby Diva. Does get slept. Inks goes down to HBJO, who was popping his Primal in the meantime. Found one on the Parasite. Looking for more. Trying to find the pick onto Flabbyface. But not going down. Does get D-Mech'd, and he's got the Tracer there now to assist him. There's so many picks that came through in that fight. They're not going to have any staying power. That was a good job from Flabbyface. There's so much presence in that fight. Eating the Pulse Bomb with the defense matrix of Woody. Staying alive as long as he could. Found 2 other picks, I believe. Good job there as they try and take this fight on top of the platform once again. That's going to be the self-destruct from Ares. Doesn't look like it found much. Gets back in his ult, but Swampy with a big EMP. Flabbyface goes down to HBJ. He has to teleport out as he's low. Texan is inside of this backline. Found a pick onto the Brig, and now he's going to be able to pop the Primal. Causing more chaos in the backline. The 60 seconds are remaining. Picks coming through now. And if you're Friars, you're only going to have almost pretty much just one more engage. As Swampy makes the switch over to the Cassidy. No more Sombra. And Flabbyface with a stagger onto HBG. Look at this. 5 ultimates, both support ultimates, both DPS ultimates, and the self-destruct. You look at Friars, 2 support ultimates in the middle of this fight. Woody will have his later on. You look at that ult disparity, and that could be a fight win condition for Grand Valley, as Friars are gonna have to push the cart. It's underneath of the bridge. They've got a long way to go. That's going to be the early nano onto HBJO. But Andreas pops his nano. It's onto Parasite. And this is it. This is do or die for Friars. And they look like they're doing a lot of dying. Hakeem and Woody both down. Swampy goes down now. Andreas finds one onto Dotori. Young Inward with the duplicate if he wants it. Doesn't need it. Has enough damage anyway. Finding the pick there with the stickies onto Ares. Last one alive is HBJO. He goes down. Hakeem's trying in to try and stagger. Doesn't look like he touched it in time, but Inks with the double kill. And now the staggers are no more. It's Grand Valley full hold Friars here on Watch Point Gibraltar.
Score 0-0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
That was an absolute stellar defense from Grand Valley. Look at where they've got this payload, just underneath of the bridge. This is definitely in a doable position for Grand Valley, as it's just around the corner. One team fight should be a win, and that's all they're gonna need to send this series to 2-0 and move on to the semifinals next week. Let's see if they're gonna be able to get it done. And this time they are gonna bring out the mercy of Andreas.
Let me get you patched up.
Correct. Attackers incoming. 30 seconds.
Inks with the tracer this time around. They're gonna run Sombra Cassidy on the side of Friars. I think that's very interesting. Sombra worked really well on Lee Jong from Swampy. It got them their one site win, but I don't think it worked out very well for them on attack. Obviously they were running Cassidy or a Sombra Tracer and opted in for Cassidy Tracer at the end, which also did not work out very well. We'll see what they try and do this time around. This is going to be an early dive onto the bridge from Texan and Flabbyface. Parasite does get hacked in the backline. Swampy teleports out. Now, so no harm, no foul. Just some ultimate charge for Andreas. That's a good hack onto Andreas. This is a big test. Andreas getting dangerously low, but it is able to get out and keep Flabbyface healed up. But they're just going to try and push this onto the point. They're going to force the team fight, but Woody found the headshot onto Inks. Now they're going to force Grand Valley off of this payload, but Texan's going to go right back in, but he's going to get punished for it. Andreas with the res onto Inks, but I think this is a lost fight. That's a big purple there from Parasite, but he's dangerously low. Now Grand Valley are going to have to try and re-engage somewhere else. HBO trying to get healed up, but Flabbyface, little poke there. Young Inward does get hacked, and he's going to try and go in and find Swampy inside of the Mega Room, but not able to find the kill. Andreas with a Valkyrie. That could be a swing here, and he's going to pop it. There's going to be a lot of healing. This is going to keep Grand Valley in the fight a lot longer. Hack onto Young Inward now. I think that if you're Grand Valley, you're going to try and dive this if you can. They get the nano onto HBJO, but he's purpled up. Pops the primal to get some HP back, and he's getting a lot of damage onto Parasite in the back line as Inks goes down. Parasite should follow. Oh, but not quite. Good job to from Andreas to keep him healed up. HBJO gets dangerously low, but able to get out. Swampy almost going down there as well as Inward has the duplicate. This with a self-destruct as well as Parasite with the nano. I think if you're Grand Valley, you try and go for this double Winston Primal Nano. It's definitely a possibility, but Swampy, there's the Sombra plays we're talking about. There's the 5-man EMP. This is going to delay the use of the ultimates. I'm able to teleport out. Now Flabbyface dangerously low gets demexed. Texan gets healed back up. Looks like they're going to try and save their ultimates for one big push, as they don't have to get the payload very far. Still with a nano, a duplicate, a primal, and a pulse bomb, and a Valkyrie now, as opposed to the only 3 ultimates from the Friars from Providence. Flabbyface with the remake. He's got his self-destruct now, and there's going to be the duplicate from Young Inward, and now they're going to try and go in. Nano popped, Valkyrie popped now. A lot of hacks coming in, a lot of purples as well. Dotori with the nano onto Ares. Both DPS insanely low. There's going to be a primal kill and a self-destruct kill. Looks like they forced everyone almost off the payload. Last one alive is HBJO. Looks like D.Va might be alive still. Does get demacked. Parasite getting the pick onto the Tori. Parasite going down to the self-destruct though. But they've got the point no one's able to touch. And Blue, Lakeshore Blue take Gibraltar off the back of their stellar defense. It started off the map almost throwing there at the end, not able to close out the team fight. But they found the picks needed to remove their staying power. And off of it, they're able to get the payload towards the final destination and beat out Providence Friars here on Gibraltar. Now they're up 2-0 as we go to map 3. It'll be interesting to see what their map pick is. I want to say if they take them to Volskaya, that's going to be a win. The Volskaya from Grand Valley has been absolutely insane this year. And it is going to be Volskaya. Swampy asking for Volskaya in the chat. I think this is a dub for Lakeshore Blue. I really do. I don't think any team has even capped the first point against them this season that I've seen. Maybe they've done it once or twice, but they haven't won a map of Volskaya against these guys. It'll be interesting to see how they play. Grand Valley usually run an Orisa Sigma comp on the far right platform, back towards the back right of the site, and force them to try and take the high ground, but when the push comes through the side, they just wrap around. Let's see if Providence Friars are able to answer the Volskaya comp that no one's been able to dismantle this season. Are in the chat from Grand Valley Blue. Nothing yet from the Friars. And there is the Tori throwing the R in chat, and we're going to load in here shortly. Quite readying up yet. R's coming in from Swampy now. Doesn't look like Isaac is paying attention. There he is. He sees the R's. Now we're going to load in to Volskaya. And I imagine Grand Valley are going to try and start on defense if possible. We're going to see Volskaya for map 3. Grand Valley up 2-0 if you're just now joining us. Able to take Lijiang 2-1 and took Watch Point Gibraltar 1-0. Both very clean maps. For a minute it is Friars going to be starting on attack. And look at that. They've got their double hit scan, Orisa Sigma double shield comp that they run here. And it's going to be dive. Okay. Let's see if they're able to execute it well. They have the comp they need to beat them, but are they going to have the picks and the positioning to try and take this point A from Grand Valley State University Lakers? It'll be interesting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
And look at this. Yeah, they are set up in the back now on this high ground with Inks over towards the side. Oh, but look at this flank from Swampy. I don't think they know Swampy's up here. This is going to force them off the high ground as Face has dropped already. But I don't think any capitalization is going to come in here as Face is able to move back up. They forced HBJO off the high ground. They're going to hold on for now. Young Inward getting dangerously low. Don't know what he was getting poked at by Friars, but that's going to be the hack on the back line. I don't think they've dealt with Swampy yet. He's able to teleport out. But nothing came off of it. Inks, now he's checking behind him. I imagine if you're Friars, you're going to have to take this engage soon. They've got the Nano Winston if they want it. And there it is. There's going to be HBJO going in. Gets flashed, gets stunned. Young Inward with the Dragon Strike if he needs it. The pick's coming through now. And there's going to be the Dragon Strike. Texan finds one. Young Inward got one with the Dragon Strike. Young Inward finding another one. And Texan with another pick. And oh wow, again. Friars able to get a few opening picks. But no clothes come off. Texan with the staying power of the Sigma, along with Young Inward and the Dragon Strike, are able to get it done. They burn 2 minutes off the clock now. And they didn't even get, what, a tick? Very well done for the Lakers to keep point control. And look at this. Now they're going to have the Supercharger, the Bongos. Andreas has the Amplification Matrix. Texan with the Gravitic Flux as well. That's a good halt. Some poke damager onto HBJO. There's going to be the Gravitic Flux. Looks like he got one or two. Young Inward finding a pick onto Dotori with a pick onto Hakeem coming through for Texan. HBJO takes down Young Inward with that leap. Woody taking a lot of damage inside that mini room. I believe that's a mega room actually in that back corner. Now they've got the pick onto Woody. They know he's alone. Not able to find the pick. Oh, and now Dotori, and now Swampy is here now too. They're getting dangerously low as they get the stagger onto Woody. Dangerously close to that Deadeye. And we're getting up to 1 minute now for the Friars, and they have shown nothing for their work. 2 engages in 3 minutes is not a benchmark you want if you want to try and win this map. And that is not a good start for you either, as Young Inward find the head of Woody with an arrow. Got the Dragon Strike if he wants it. And this is really going to stave off the push if they want to challenge the high ground. I think he's going to pop it. Now he is. This is going to find almost everyone damage coming through now, but no kills. This is going to force Providence to recoup. They do have 6 ultimates, but they just have such a hard ask for them now. 30 seconds remaining now as they try and take point control. Rally now for Hakeem. Face popping that Supercharger. Self-destruct getting the pick onto Texan. Very unfortunate. HBJO with the Nano to stay alive. Woody finds Parasite. Young Inward goes down now. Face is getting forced off the point. Inks is the last one alive, and he's behind. He's just going to stall for as long as he can. Almost finds the pick onto Swampy. Still just trying to stall, but they will get it done in overtime. So well done to Providence. But that was a lot of time stalled for Grand Valley. And a lot of ultimates used to try and take that point. But now we're going to head in to point B, which is much more defender-sided. And if they can barely get point A and no snowball coming in, I think they're going to be able to hold this. That's going to be the EMP Deadeye for Friars that only claims Face. Is Andreas able to pop his Amplification Matrix? HBJO goes down. Texan with the Gravitic Flux skill onto the backline of Dotori. Now off the back of the Flux, the Self-Destruct in the Rally in the Amplification Matrix. Wow, so 4 ultimates used for Grand Valley. Oh, but that's a good stagger onto Hakeem. As we hit 2 minutes now on point B. Good sonar dart from Young Inward. A lot of sprayed arrows now. As the dive comes in, HBJO trying to get Inks off this high ground. I believe that's Young Inward who's on the high ground, but job well done. Now he's off. But Young Inward has another Dragon Strike. Inks with the Tactical Visor, and this is a big lead you have in ults compared to Friars. But they don't even need ultimates. Ooh, that's a good sweep dart from Dotori. But it doesn't matter. Ares in the Baby Diva goes down. Young Inward, Swampy dangerously low now. Trying to play around that Mega. Able to get out though, as Texan is moved over to this Roadhog to try and get as much staying power as you can. Playing around those DPS ultimates. A Hog Hook can make you very susceptible, especially to that Tac Visor. They're all set up on the Tiger. I think if you're gonna try and get this Dragon Strike here, but again, they don't need it. Andreas finding the pick on Hakim. Texan does get set, but he's gonna come back out now. Thanks to the shield of Flabby Face, no follow-up came of it. But look at this. Friars are still just stalling for ultimates. Inks doing a good job of checking his flank.
Looking for me? See you later.
Goes out of invis, but has to teleport out. It looks like Texan might have hurt him. Tried to rotate over. Young Inward still with that Dragon Strike. I think he's trying to play around possibly the defense matrix from Ares. HBJO goes really low, but able to stay alive off the nano. Now pops the primal as he's found Young Inward and shut down the immortality field. Hakim finds one with the whip shot. Texan finds one. Texan finds two off the back of the hack. He's gonna go down now. No, he doesn't. Able to find the health pack. He's coming back in. There's gonna be the Dragon Strike from Young Inward. Gonna force them into this corner. Texan popping the whole hog now, but gets hacked. But this is gonna allow the stall to come in now for Grand Valley. A lot of picks already. There's just not a lot of people from Friars left alive. As Grand Valley have the spawn advantage, Vittori goes off the edge. Last one alive is Ares. He's gonna go down. Now Swampy comes back, and there's gonna be a Deadeye from Woody. That's good pressure from Flabbyface. Loses his mech for it, but able to shut down the Deadeye. Texan gets attacked now back on the ball. Was able to find the pick on Hakim, but Friars don't touch the point. 2 ticks allowed now for the Friars, but Grand Valley able to close them off from the map completion. And now the door for Grand Valley is still open. We've never seen Grand Valley have to cap both points, but with how nasty their point A attack is, I imagine they're going to be able to get B done in enough time. Again, only 2 ticks, just a little bit more for Grand Valley to try and complete, and this is definitely doable. If you're just now checking in with us, this is map 3. We're at Volskaya Industries between Grand Valley, Lakeshore Blue, Overwatch, and Friars, Overwatch from Providence. Right now, the series is 2-0 in the favor of our Grand Valley Lakers, but Friars looming down the back of their first win here with 1 point and 2 ticks on Volskaya. And now Grand Valley are going to have to answer with a good attack of their own. Looks like they're going to run with the Wrecking Ball comp, playing off of the Echo and the Mercy. Usually we see something like this, but usually when teams, usually when teams pull out a Bastion, they try and pull up the Genji instead of the Echo. No Bastion this time around, though.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A. Enemy target.
It starts to come through the choke now. This is a very interesting setup with both tanks on top of the high ground. Texan gonna take the early engage on the point. Gets Let's try and get out and go down. Biotic nade from Vittori used there to get the kill. Losing your Wrecking Ball is not good as Woody wins the soldier fight onto Inks. Unfortunate engage there. Now they're gonna have to regroup. Yeah, no, Texan's gonna switch. He's gonna switch over to the Winston. Obviously, you don't want to have to do with Sombra, Anna, and Brigitte as you're trying to hassle the backline as a Wrecking Ball. Texan trying to dive this high ground, doesn't quite find it. Young Inward goes in with him, and now they have a lot of site presence. Swampy with a kill onto Parasite. Emic coming through now onto Ares, and there's 2 good picks you have. That was a good purple from Dotori. They just got the respawns coming in now. Can't quite find the hack onto Andreas. Inks gets hacked, but Texan with the kill onto Woody. Grand Valley are gonna start to get a lot of site percentage. Young Inward finding 2 picks. Swampy with 2 picks of his own. Andreas getting the res, and they're still capping the point. HBJO not able to touch, and there's gonna be the stagger. So many players so close to their ultimate. Texan gonna switch over to the Reinhardt for point B, and they've got 5 minutes to try and get 2 ticks. I think this is an optimal scenario now for Grand Valley. You take point A on your, what, second, third team fight? Well done. Ooh, pardon me. Looks like I'm a little tired. And that's going to be the engage from Young Inward. He gets the duplicate onto the Winston. Going to be harassing the backline. Ink's finding the pick onto the Tori. Gets hacked, not go down. Swampy dies before he gets his EMP off. That's huge. Aries got a self-destruct, but doesn't find anything. HBJ, with 2 picks inside of the Primal. Young Inward coming out of the duplicate. Parasite gets rezzed. That's the pick onto Woody. And now Stagger's coming in for Friars. They're going to start to get some ticks. They've got 1. Stagger's going to start to come in. Young Inward's found the pick onto Swampy. Texan with the Fire Strike kill, shutting down Aries. Parasite goes down to HBJ. Mines find a Tori. Texan with another kill. They're getting closer and closer. They've got 2 ticks. They've got map 3 in Grand Valley. Move on to the semifinals next week on Tuesday. They get it done. Fantastic map 3. Again, I'm telling you, don't take us to Volskaya. It's nasty. Our Volskaya is so good. The way they play their defense and the way they engage on offense is too clean. And because of it, they're going to take map 3, and they're going to take the series 3-0. Wow. Very well done from our Lakers. There were a few question marks at the time, but they got it done in the end. And speaking of end, we're going to end the stream here. They take the series 3-0, and they're going to play next week on Wednesday in the semifinals. If they win next week, they'll go on to the grand finals of ECAC Open Play. But for now, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, JJ or Josine. It's been a pleasure casting for you again. It's been a while. Sorry, Maria could not join us tonight. She had college classes to go to and a workshop, I believe. But again, thank you for joining us, and good night.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero. Three, 2, 1, fight!
Sig Discord. Give them all up.